Hey guys, welcome back to Tea Time. I'm Sophie.
And I'm Issa.
And today we're going to be talking about school time change.
The potential
school time change
in Miami-Dade County. Not looking good. Doesn't seem fun. In our opinion. Some might like it.
So let's start by saying the proposed schedule. So right now Miami-Dade County has two models. For high school at least, the first model proposed a 9:30 start time with an end time of 4:30. The second proposed model proposed 8:30 to 3:30.
Currently, at our school at least, like Miami Art Studio, we
from
go to
7:20 to 2:20.
So let's think about this logistically. Parents, that's not going to be fun. They have to rewire their whole schedule.
It's not.
They do have really good intentions.
They do have good intentions with this, and it's not just they're trying to ruin our lives. So according to Miami-Dade County Public Schools, there was a research in California that stated that at puberty, kids' body clocks shift, which makes it harder for them to fall asleep until later at night. And this leads to sleeping later in the morning. So they propose if they change the school time to later, they'll be able to stay up later and wake up later to accommodate for this body change. And it also says it's better for mental health since they're accommodating to this body change.
Currently, at least for me, I live far from the school and so does Sophie. I go to sleep at around 10:30 when I finished all my homework because I don't have AP courses this year, but she does. So I go to bed at around 10:30 and then wake up at like 5:45. And just getting ready takes me a little long. So I get out of my house at like 6:20 and then I go to school and I get there at like 6:45. I feel like it would be a lot more difficult for my mom personally.
For my mom too, because for me, I'm taking the AP class, so it's harder. Not necessarily harder, it's just a lot more homework. I often find myself doing homework till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So I get home, depends on the day. I usually get home around 4.
Same.
Then I go to sleep at around 3. So I'm doing homework all that time. And then I wake up at 5:30, so I usually get less than 3 hours of sleep.
And I feel like changing the time doesn't change the amount of homework we get. It's just shifting it over later. Think about it like this. Our average school day is from 7:30 to 2:30. Let's say the average person gets home at 3:34, averaging it. They start homework at 4 until whenever they finish. Idealistically.
According to our teachers and their time management with air quotes, they suggest we finish homework at around 7.
Really?
If we start at 4, they say we should be able to finish by 7.
No, for our listeners, we have 8 periods. Not all in one day, but we have an 8A B-day schedule, so we have 4 classes one day and 4 the other. We are able to manage our time better than most, so we have a advantage when it comes to managing our homework and what we do what day. But it's still a lot of work, depending on whether you have more core classes one day or more the other. Idealistically, 7, let's say that. 4 to 7, right? That's the ideal time to finish homework.
Yes.
If we leave school at 4, we'll be getting home at like
5.
So that'll shift to 8. And for my personal experience, I finish homework at around 9 or 10. And then it just goes straight to sleep. That makes it a lot harder for me because, 1, I get less time to do my extracurricular activities.
And considering that we go to a magnet school, we take our extracurriculars very seriously.
Yeah.
And we put a lot of extra time into it after school. So saying that the average person in our school stays after school at least once a week.
But anyway, we're doing that right now.
We put so much time and dedication into our magnets that by the time...
Yeah, don't think we're complaining.
We're not complaining.
We love doing this.
We love our magnet and we chose to be here.
Yeah.
So even if Miami-Dade County were to change their schedule, the parents wouldn't be able to. Like, just because we change our schedule doesn't mean the parents have the flexibility to.
Exactly.
So we're going to still wake up at the same time, and we're still going to be dropped off somewhere.
Yeah. Students that have part-time jobs, or even just jobs, they don't exactly have that liberty of having a flexible schedule.
And they have to get to work right after school.
Usually.
Like, if you start work, we get out at 2:30.
Yeah.
Respectively. We get out at 2:30, and there are some kids who have to be at work by 3. So people with part-time jobs, they're going to be restricted by this. They might have to lose their part-time job.
Yeah, in order to find one that accommodates to the current,
the new
alleged
proposed schedule.
Yeah. I feel like it's a hassle for everyone. Because even teachers, not a majority, but a good portion of teachers have kids that they have to pick up in other schools.
And if they're kids in elementary schools,
they get out.
There's a possibility that they have to drop them off at different times as well. So they would have to flip their entire schedule too.
That's true.
But I understand
there are
good intentions with this proposed schedule.
Yeah.
Such as the thing we mentioned with the mental health
and sleeping schedule.
And sleeping schedule. It could also lower the tension with the buses.
Yeah.
If we separate the time more.
That's true.
There would be less bus traffic and less traffic for us to get to school. Mm-hmm. So it all depends on what perspective you look at it and your personal situation, whether you agree with this new time change or not. Yeah.
But there's going to be a lot of changes, so the future's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But that's it for today's episode of Tea Time. I'm Isa.
I'm Sophie.
Signing off. Bye.